Today is another book review day, and it is the third book that I've read from the 2015 reading challenge list. I'll put a little link down below just to let you know what's going on with that and what it's all about. And this week I have been reading a book written by somebody under the age of 30, and I believe they were 27 or 28 when they wrote this book. And it is Fiend by Stenson. So I will read you the blurb and then talk to you about the book. There's more than one kind of monster. When Chase sees the little girl in umbrella socks savaging the Rottweiler, he's not too concerned. As someone who's been smoking meth every day for as long as he can remember, he's no stranger to such horrifying drug-fueled hallucinations. But, as he and his fellow junkies discover, the little girl is no illusion. The end of the world really has arrived, and with Chase's life already destroyed beyond all hope of redemption, Armageddon might actually be an opportunity. A last chance to hit restart and become the person he once dreamed of being. This book is really, really good. I'm not a huge fan of reading zombie type things. I like zombie films, but they're always the same kind of story. This one has a little bit of a darker twist, but it works so well. So it starts off with Chase. He's the main character, and his friend Typewriter, and they're at Typewriter's house and they are smoking meth and getting high. I don't know much about drugs, so if I used the wrong terminology, please forgive me, but they're just out of it. And Chase notices a little girl outside and he thinks that she's just playing, and then within seconds she's ripping open a dog and eating its insides and chewing bits of flesh and just destroying the animal. And he can't work out whether or not it's actually happening or whether or not it has something to do with the drugs. So he and Typewriter kind of spend a little bit of time trying to work out what's going on. And then the girl breaks into the house and they both realise that it is real, and she is crazy. She manages to pull down the barricades that they put up, rips open a door. She's obviously not just a normal little girl. So they manage to escape and they go to Chase's house, and there they can gather their thoughts and think about what's been going on. And on their way there, they notice that there aren't that many people out in the streets, but it doesn't seem too strange to them until they get to Chase's house and they find Chase's landlord has been eaten. And that's when the panic starts to hit, and they come to a realisation, and this is where the story shifts from being what I would class as a typical zombie film, is that these two men realise that they're alive because of the amount of drugs they've pumped into their body. And it's such a strange thing to think that in a zombie apocalypse, the only way to stay alive is to be a meth head. But according to this book, that's the case. So if you are a drug addict, you know, you might be safe when it comes to the end of the world. Yeah, so in order to stay alive, they realise they've got to go and find their drug dealer who cooks the methamphetamines and stockpile it in order to stay alive. And obviously things have to go wrong. Whenever you see anything to do with the end of the world or whatever, people return to their base instincts and their base emotions, which is kind of survival is the main thing. They need food, they need shelter. When there are zombies, they need weapons. And people just don't care about anything. Any sort of compassion goes out the window because all they want to do is stay alive. So these two guys, Chase and Typewriter, manage to get hold of some weapons. They manage to get hold of some drugs, but people get killed along the way. People they care about, but it's all part of the survival process, and the book just takes you on a journey through this really horrific time through the eyes of somebody that has just abused their body and their mind with these drugs. And it's an interesting parallel that I think the author has made here. If you imagine a zombie, you just imagine, you know, blank eyes, just walking really slowly. They don't know what's going on. They look really dishevelled, really tattered. And if you've ever seen anyone who smokes meth, who smokes serious meth, who is an addict, they've got a very similar way about them. They're glazed eyes, they're dishevelled, they don't seem to know what's going on, their speech is slurred. And it's a very, very interesting parallel that he makes, that these two creatures, the zombie and the drug addict, are so similar, but they're fighting against each other. And it's just such an interesting thought process. The ending isn't the ending that I would have liked, but it was an ending that made you lose your breath for a second. I was reading, and it ends at the end of a page, and I turned the page over expecting a little bit more, and there was nothing more, and I just held my breath for a second because it just it knocked me backwards. I was very surprised, and because it's such a fast-paced book, they're running and they're trying to escape all of these horrible things that are happening, that it comes to an abrupt stop and you almost skid because you're running along with them. It is such a brilliantly well written book by somebody under 30, which makes me jealous because I am over 30, but I still really enjoyed it. So this was definitely a good choice. So if you would like to hear any more of my other book reviews, then please subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every time I've read a book, and I do other bits and pieces as well. I give writing advice, and I also share my work with you, a little bit of shameless self-promotion, just to let you know about my writing and my book. So if you're interested in reading and or writing, then please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.